Welcome to Hollywood Bulletin, where we peel back the curtain on Tinseltown's most unforgettable love stories and the heartbreak behind them. Today, we're diving into the explosive romance between America's sweetheart Ali MacGraw and Hollywood's king of cool, Steve McQueen, a passionate affair that turned into a marriage marked by jealousy, control, and a cold goodbye that left scars for life. Ali MacGraw and Steve McQueen's love story wasn't just a celebrity headline, it was a high-speed collision of two very different worlds. Ali came from an artistic, intellectual upbringing in New York. Her mother was a commercial artist, her father a painter and teacher. Though surrounded by culture, her home life wasn't easy. Her father's temper and the family's financial struggles left an emotional imprint. She attended Wellesley College and broke into the fashion world before ever stepping onto a film set. She was quiet, thoughtful, and deeply grounded, qualities that set her apart. When she married Paramount Pictures exec Robert Evans in 1969, he became a guiding force in her rise. With his support, she landed Goodbye Columbus and skyrocketed to stardom in Love Story, a role that made her an overnight icon of natural elegance and restrained emotion. Steve McQueen's path couldn't have been more different. Born into chaos in Indiana in 1930, he never knew his father, and his alcoholic mother left him in the care of relatives. A troubled teen, Steve joined gangs and eventually found stability in the U.S. Marine Corps. After his service, he discovered acting, enrolled at the Actors Studio in New York, and quickly rose through the ranks of Hollywood. Known for his intense silence, tough masculinity, and rebellious energy, he became a star in hits like The Great Escape and Bullet, but McQueen also carried a deep mistrust of others and a desperate need for control. Behind the swagger was a man always bracing for betrayal. Their worlds collided on the set of The Getaway in the early 70s. McQueen had already signed on to play Doc McCoy in the gritty crime thriller. Evans, still married to Ali, helped get her cast in the role of Carol. What he didn't realize was that the film he was producing would become the setting of his own heartbreak. From the very beginning, the chemistry between Steve and Ali was impossible to miss. Crew members later recalled how close they were off camera. Though married to other people, both were feeling the cracks in their marriages. Their on-screen intensity spilled into real life, and soon, rumors began to swirl. When Evans finally learned of the affair, he was devastated. Ali left him for Steve. She said it didn't even feel like a choice. Her heart had already moved on. Their relationship shocked Hollywood. Steve, who didn't care what the tabloids said, embraced the drama. But Ali, who had built her image on grace and innocence, was rocked by the backlash. Despite the scandal, she followed her heart and married McQueen in 1973. What followed was not a fairy tale. Steve demanded a life of privacy and control. He made it clear no more acting. So Ali walked away from her career and moved to their remote home on Trancas Beach. She cooked, cleaned, and stayed out of the spotlight. But the silence started to hurt. She missed being seen. She missed herself. McQueen's need for control worsened. He didn't want her going out, didn't trust her around men, and resented her fame. He had expected devotion, but not independence. As Ali faded into the role of dutiful wife, she became invisible in her own life. The marriage turned cold. Steve, plagued by insecurity and fueled by jealousy, began cheating again, just as he had in his first marriage. Ali endured the humiliation silently. She stopped asking questions. She started surviving. Drugs and late-night parties became common in their world, and Steve spiraled deeper into paranoia and emotional distance. Eventually, Ali could take no more. Years of infidelity, emotional neglect, and silence had taken their toll. She left. Steve responded with rage, not sadness. He didn't want to admit fault. Their 1978 divorce was subdued on paper, but emotionally devastating. Steve quickly moved on with model Barbara Minty, who he married in 1980, just before his death. But insiders say he never truly let go of Ali. Ali, meanwhile, began her healing journey, entering rehab at the Betty Ford Center and slowly reclaiming her voice. In 1979, McQueen's life took a shocking turn. He was diagnosed with mesothelioma, a rare cancer linked to asbestos exposure from both the military and film sets. True to form, he rejected conventional treatment and traveled to Mexico for alternative therapies. Despite harsh criticism, he clung to hope, desperate to live a quiet life with Barbara. When Ali learned of his diagnosis, she was heartbroken. Though they hadn't spoken in years, her love for him had never truly disappeared. Steve died on November 7, 1980, at just 50 years old. Ali did not attend the funeral, but in later years, she spoke openly about her love for him, how deep it ran, and how deeply it hurt. Their story wasn't a fairy tale. It was fire and ashes, passion and pain, love and loss. But it was real, and that's what made it unforgettable. If you were moved by this story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin, and tap the bell icon so you never miss another true story from behind the scenes of Hollywood's golden age.